Welcome into Doodle Club. Today we're going to draw a bunch of zombies. They're all going to be the same zombie, but the pencil lines that we put in at the start, they're all going to be slightly different. So by following the same process, we should get loads of different types of zombies. That's the plan anyway, so let's see how we go with it, shall we? These are the materials you're going to need. I'm using an Ohuhu square marker pad, one pencil, a HB pencil, and then today I'm using a brush pen. This is a Sakura Pigma brush pen. One of the great things about the brush pen is as soon as you adapt to the floppy nib, which is a little bit weird to start out with, as soon as you adapt to that, you can get all these different line weights. So it's like doing a double wonky line, but with just giving it one stroke. So it makes things a lot quicker. So we're going to practice with that brush pen today. Use whatever pens you've got though. You'll be fine with it. Okay. First thing we'll do is let's go and put ourselves. We don't want to fill this whole page with zombies. On saying that, I'm not going to fill this whole page with zombies. You can do that if you want. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put all the zombies in a square. So let's go and draw a rough square in there so we can just contain all our zombies in there. It's a nice way of doing a page filler without actually filling a page. Like I say, put a circle, a heart, whatever shape you want in there. It will be absolutely fine. Then what we'll do is we're going to go and fill this space with a bunch of circles. Okay, some of them might overlap a little bit. That's absolutely fine. And these circles are going to be the entirety of the head of our characters. Okay, so let's just get in here and put in some circles. Now, what I was saying before was mix it up a little bit. These pencil lines we need to change around a little bit. So we've gone for like a normal one there, a bit more round there. So let's go and put a tall one. Just there, a wide one, just there, a weird shaped one, just there. Just kind of putting in loads of weird shapes without really thinking about it too much. All of them kind of overlapping a little bit. It's going to make our drawing look a lot better if they all overlap a little bit somehow. There we go. Okay, now in all of these, we're going to put a U shape in for where the mouth lives. At this point, I will just zoom in a little bit closer, so you can see exactly what I'm doing here. But yeah, a U shape on its side for the mouth. Don't think about it too much, just go and throw these in. So we're going to go for a regular one there. This one will go for a smiley one. This one we'll go for a big one, but we'll turn it around over there. This one's going to go just there. And again, without thinking about it too much, just go and throw these shapes in. Let's go that side, that side, that side. Okay, so like I said, the whole point of this is we don't think too much. We just throw it in, see what happens. It's not about getting it perfect or placing everything. This is all about learning to draw on the fly. I think that's good enough for us to get started. Okay, so go and grab your brush pen and let's start with this. There's quite an easy process to follow with this, where we do the eyes, the ear, nose, the mouth, and then the rest of the head all kind of falls into place. Okay. So grab your brush pen. We're going to go and do the eyes first. Let's start with this one in the middle, down at the bottom. So let's zoom right in on that one. So we'll do the eyes, ear, nose, mouth. Okay, that's the order. So let's go and put the eyes in first. Both eyes just going to be two great big circles. One's going to be kind of on the edge here, so just kind of put it straddling that pencil line. Look at how we're using that brush pen, different kind of wobbliness, so my hand's shaking just naturally, but also just pushing a little bit harder, pushing gentler to give it that different kind of thickness. So you see how much I pressed at the bottom there to give it a thicker line down the bottom. That's the kind of thing we want. Okay, we'll come back to the eyes in a second. Let's just quickly go and do the ear. So over on this side, straddling this side, opposite to where that eyeball's hanging over there. Let's go and put an ear in. So it's going to start there and finish off there. Again, wonky as hell. We'll go and do some little details on the inside of that ear a little bit later. Next, though, let's put the nose in. So the nose is like a W shape. It's going to sit just here. Don't touch the, yeah, it's okay if we touch the mouth, if we overlap the mouth a little bit, but ideally we want to just put it just above to keep it clean for the time being. A W shape, and then on the on this side of the W, we'll flick a line up for the bridge of the nose. So let me show you what I mean by that. There's my W shape, nice and wonky, this side. Just take a little line up for the bridge of the nose. Okay, once we've got all those in, we can start working our way down. Let's go work into the mouth next. So the mouth is going to come out from the tip of the nose just here. It's going to follow all the way around and back in for a little bottom lip as well. We're not going to put a tongue on this one. The reason we've drawn mouths in is so that we can put some tongues in, but we'll do a tongue later. But for the time being, from the bottom of this part of the nostril up, all the way around, wonky as you like. Right, that's all our features. That's all our main features in. What we're going to do now is we're going to go over them all again, but this time we're going to add some extra lines, some little bits of finesse and things like that. So let's go back to those eyes. Let's start on the inside. On the inside, we want to put in some irises, pupils, whatever you want to call them. So just pressing really, really lightly, go and put in some pupils like that. I'm also going to put a little line across here, look, for us to give it a little bit of a shadow across there. Then I'm going to get to the outside of the eyes. Now the only important thing to do here is for this eye that's kind of straddling that pencil line to attach it to the head a little bit more. So down the bottom here, look, we'll take a little bit of skin that just joins onto that nose. That's all we need. You could probably do the same across the top. A little bit of skin just comes back into inside that big pencil line for the head. Okay, let's go and do something for the other eye. So for the other eye, I'm thinking I'm just going to put in some little lines. See, I'm pressing quite hard, letting go to give it all those little wrinkles. Maybe one up here as well. Look. And then maybe, what about a little eyebrow or a little eyelid kind of bit across the top there, that kind of thing. Yeah, just adding these extra little details in. So let's go and put something in there, another little bit. That'll do nicely. Right, next let's go back to the ear. We started on the ear. We're going to keep the ear nice and simple. We're just going to put this knobbly bit in just here, and then a line that goes around the outside edge of the ear. Just pressing quite gently to give ourselves some nice thin lines in there. That's what we're going for now. Maybe you want to attach your ear a little bit better by putting some little Y shapes across there. That's great. Okay, next is into the mouth. So go and think about what you want to do in the mouth. Let's just put some teeth in for the time being. And then what about a tongue at the back? Look. With that tongue at the back, what we will do just to finish it off is we're going to join two of the teeth together and colour the back of the mouth in black. So like this, look, just join two of the teeth together like that. And then this bit we can start colouring in black. I'm using the brush pen on its side, pressing a little bit harder. And it covers over, gives me lots of coverage that way. So we've got some teeth, we've got a tongue in there. Let's do a little wrinkle around the back of the mouth here, look. Beautiful stuff. Last bit then we're going to do on this, let's just make it watertight. We're going to go all the way round. Don't follow that pencil line perfectly. Every now and then you want to do a little flick in, every now and then you want to do a little wobble, that kind of stuff. So let's go and do that. Let's start up here. Little flick in, look. Keep on going. Wobbles and things. Down the bottom, let's put some drips in there as well. You see how we've got ourselves a real nice, weird looking zombie. Let's just finish it off. Once you've got that, it's all watertight, it's all finished. The last little bit to do is this bit of space here. We've got nothing really going on in there, so let's go and put some stuff in there. It can be anything from extra drips, little hairs, just go and put something in there. Okay, you see how easy that was? Only took us a few seconds as well. So now we're going to whip over all of those other shapes that we've got in there and do that same zombie. Same process, just make a few little changes here and there. Bigger eyes, smaller eyes, less teeth, tongue hanging out, that kind of stuff. In fact, let's go and do the next one. And let's put the tongue hanging out. So here we go. Let's do this one over here. So remember, we started off with the eyes. Once you get to a point where you're comfortable with these pens, the brush pens, you want to start pressing when you're underneath an object. That's where the shadow lives. So you're pressing when you're underneath. And see how quickly I got that like double wonky line just using one pen. So like I say, start with the eyes, put that W in for the, the ear, sorry, next. So around the back here, let's go. Again, just pressing a little bit darker when you're underneath. I went bigger with the ear there. The only real difference I'm making on this one is I'm going to throw the tongue so it's outside of the mouth. Other than that, it's going to be the same as the other zombie. So let's go and do that W next. W, and then a line up for the bridge of the nose. As soon as you've done the nose, we get into the mouth. So it's eyes, ears, nose, mouth. Now with the mouth on this one, I am going to put a tongue hanging out. Okay, that's the only reason to put in that C shape just there, because what we'll do is we'll just come from the back, just drop a little line down like that. And then we'll do that exact line again, but this time we're going to go all the way around underneath there, and we're going to come back into that pencil line for the mouth. Okay, so all the way around. Just get slightly back in. And look at how double wonky that tongue is without me doing any work to it at all. Okay, let's bring this mouth home. So do you remember we started at this point of the nose? Going to come out for that lip all the way down, hit the back of the tongue, tuck it in behind there. Let's go and put that bottom lip in, sticking out a little bit further so that because we've got the tongue in there, so we can do that if we want. Put some teeth in. Especially at the top there. Can we put a tooth in down the bottom? Yeah, let's put a tooth in down the bottom. And we're now getting into the detail. So just go, it doesn't really matter which order you go in for the detail. So long as you put the eyes, ears, nose, mouth in, and then we're going to follow up with all the detail afterwards. As we're in the mouth, let's just carry on with the mouth. We're just going to, this time we're going to join the tongue and the tooth together and colour in the background. Little wrinkle around the back of the mouth there would be good. Let's get we're working our way backwards now. Where's we next? In the nose. Do you want to do anything in the nose? We can maybe just put some little nostrils. Little thin lines, some nostrils or something. Into the ear, you remember how we did that ear, just that line going all the way around, that knobbly bit. If you've got a big load of space, you can put an extra line in the middle there. That would be nice. Attach them with these Y shapes, the end of the line. Getting into the eye, what do you want to do with the eyes? Let's do this one over this side first. This is the important one to do. We're going to do that line that comes out, a little bag goes into the nose, and then another one across the top. A little bag either side. Big eye over this side. What we're going to do with that, let's come put a bag or two underneath it. Maybe a little wrinkle. Maybe a little line across the top. Let's have a little line flicking up that way. Look at how that zombie's changed. Figure out where the eyes are going to be looking. I'm going to try some different pupils this time. Let's colour these in black, little black dots. That looks nice. Maybe some little tiny, barely touching, for some bloodshot eyes there. Little shadows, lines going around the pupils. And there you go. Once you've got all those details in, let's make it watertight. So we're just going to go all the way around the outside edge. The character. Remember, not being too fussy about how neat it is. There's our little drippy neck there. Terrible job of it, but that's all right. And then it is just a case of going over the rest of your character, just adding in extra drips, little crosses, little quote marks, whatever you want, little hairs. Just go and have some fun with it. Okay, we're getting quicker now. That one, we did that one in 6 minutes. The first one took us 10 minutes. Let's go and do another one over here and see how quick we can go. Remember, eyes, ears, nose, mouth. Okay, so here we go. Eyes. Ears, this one can go down here. Nose was a W. And then the mouth. Remember that mouth shape comes out from there. Throwing in that bottom lip as well. Eyes, ears, nose, mouth. We've gone around it once. Let's go around it again. So the eyes. Let's go and let's start inside the eyes. Let's go and put some pupils looking this way. Looking back into the picture. That little shadows in the eyes. Don't forget to attach the eyes to the head with those little bulgy lines. This one's sticking out quite a way. So yeah, flick around some lines for the eyes. In the nose, did you want to put anything on the nose? In the ears. Just keep it really simple, really quick. If you ain't got much space, then just put a little thin line in. Into the mouth, we've got this wrinkle across the back of the mouth first. Let's go and put a big tongue in. And then we can put some teeth in. Without thinking about it too much, join two of those teeth together. Colour in the back of the mouth. Black. There we go. Finish it off. Join everything together. Drippy line underneath the bottom, and then fill in all those little gaps with something. Little bumps, especially even on the tongue. Like you can put little bumps on the tongue, little lines in the teeth. Look how thin these lines can be. Finish off with a few little hairs. There's another zombie done. We're going to move our way up a bit now. Let's go and get the rest of these zombies done. Much quicker that time. 4 minutes. We got that one done. Now, as we move up, these zombies are going to be hidden behind the zombies down at the bottom. So they should be even quicker to draw. Mouth is over this side, so let's go and put the eyeball in just there. Another eyeball in just there. What the hell? Let's go and put another eyeball in just there. Nobody said it had to be realistic. Let's go and whack an ear in. We've got a nice big space for the ear there. Then we can do the nose, that W shape, with a line coming up for the bridge of the nose. As soon as you've got that, the mouth will fall into place. You come off the nose, lip, mouth. It's going behind the other character. All the bottom lip, all the other gubbins in the mouth is behind the other character. So leave it like that. We've gone through, we've cycled through once, so let's do it again. Back into the eyes. What are we going to do with the eyes on this one? Let's have some little dots looking straight at us. Little dots looking straight at us for the eyes. Extra little wrinkles all the way around. Oh, we've got another eye over here. Forgot that one. Extra little wrinkles all over the place for the eyes. Let's put one under there as well. Join the eyes in, so we've got to bring this in with that bit of skin. Little shadow. Into the ear. If you keep it, just keep it simple with the ear. Big knobbly bit. Big bit around the outside edge there. Nice and easy. Look at these wonky lines all over the place. That's what we like. Attach it with those capital Y's. Do you want to do anything with the nose? I'm just going to put a couple of little lines under there for the nose. Keeping it nice and simple. Teeth. Let's go and put some teeth in. Let's do that and colour the rest of the mouth in black. And don't forget that little wrinkle across the back of the mouth. I'm going to put one in just here and one in just there. Look. Okay, make it watertight. So just go around all the outside edge. It's all done that side, so just here. Look how wonky that was. If you do it wonky like that, just flick a little line in every now and then. That's a weird looking creature. I like that one. Let's go and put some. Look at that. Just draw a couple of little shapes, a couple of little circles, then put some lines through them. Little line around it. Just makes it look like an abrasion on the skin. This one we're just going to put some spots in, some little circles, little freckles. Just using the tip of the brush pen. But we've got this little bit down here. Don't forget to put some drips in. There we go, watertight. Next one, we've got this one over here. Let's keep this one. This one's going to be super simple. So just an eyeball, ear, nose, W, and then the mouth. Actually, we haven't put a tongue in for a while, so let's go and put a tongue in on this one. Look. Then we can go around the rest of the mouth. That's the only reason we put that pencil line in there for the mouth, is so that we can put the tongue in. Everything else, look, hidden behind the other zombies. Let's cycle through again. This time we're going to do the pupils. We're going to go for some round pupils, nothing inside them. Little shadows in there as well. The ear, sorry. Let's go and put the knobbly bit on the inside and then the outer wrinkles. Attach it if you want. Into the nose. Do you want to put anything in the nose? You could just put those little flicks across there. That is good enough. Into the mouth. Throw in some teeth. Join two of them together. Colour the back in black. wrinkle around the back. Maybe even a little wrinkle underneath there. Maybe some bits inside the teeth and the tongue. Finish it off by making it watertight. So remember what we did with this eye over here. Look at that. If you do something, you think, oh, this looks good, do a little bit more of it, see what happens. So I just did all those extra wrinkles. Now it looks like some sort of weird shriveled head with some hair on there as well. We haven't done any characters with hair. None of these have got hair at the moment. There we go. Because we started off with those wrinkles around the head, I'm going to carry on with those. They look really weird. I like that. Let's put a little bag. There's nothing much going on there, so let's just put a little bag under there. Maybe some little spots. Bits of hair. Beautiful. Work your way up. Let's go and do the next one. Let's go over here. Eyeballs. Ears. Little tiny ear in that one. Nose. Mouth. See how quick that was? We're not thinking about it too much. We're getting more delicate with our pen, getting more used to that pen. Get in, put some pupils in. This time I'm going to have the pupils looking down here. Shadows in the eyes, little wrinkles around the eyes. Let's attach those eyes. Some skin around the outside. Into the ear, we've got the knobbly bit, line outside. Into the mouth. What are we going to do in this mouth? Let's just put in a couple of small teeth. Tongue. Join two of the teeth together. Colour in the rest for the back of the mouth. Really quick, really easy. The whole point of this is not to think too much about it. Finish it off, make it watertight. So we're going to go around the top. Pencil line is just there as a guide. We don't have to hit that pencil line. This one, look at the space I've got there. Let's go and put a big drip. Drips are so big, they've got their own shadows in there. So go and do that. This one's going to have some extra drips around it and some hair. Didn't do anything on the nose, so let's just go and put a couple of little marks in the nose. Okay, 3 more to go. We've got 2 minutes to finish these off to make this a quickie. Let's see if we can do it, shall we? Let's start over here. We're going to have an eyeball. Eyeball. Massive ear because we've got lots of space just there. Nose. It's the W. Flick up. Into the mouth. Let's go and put a tongue in because again we've got lots of space down here. So big tongue this time. Look. Massive tongue. That enables us to put the mouth in. Start from the tip of the nose. We're not going to see a lip in there because the tongue is covering everything up. Once you've gone through, cycle through again. Let's go and put some bits in these eyes. Little wrinkles all over the place. We haven't done any bags for a while. Let's go and give this one some bags. Into the ear. Into the mouth. Look at that, just 2 teeth. Colour it in, little wrinkle. make the rest of it watertight. Remember, your pencil line is just a guide. This one's going to have hair, look. Main thing when you're drawing these is to make sure you go for different thicknesses of line. You don't just want to have one fat line. Just use the very tip of the pen to put those little thin lines in, as well as the pressing down to get those fatter lines in as well. Okay, let's go over here. Eyes, ear. What ear do we want? Let's go for a little tiny ear. Nose, mouth. Really quick, yeah? Eyes again. Adding all those little wrinkles and lines. Little crosses in the eyes this time, why not? Ear. It's not much variance I put on the ears. I kind of keep them pretty simple. Noses, just a couple of lines in there. Mouth. Let's get in the mouth. Let's do some real thin, skinny teeth. Look at that tooth. Do you see that one? Look. Little overlap just there for a back tooth. Join a couple of these teeth together and then go work your way backwards into the mouth to colour it all in. Around the rest of the head. This one, let's go and put some proper hair in this one. Some sideburns. A little bit of hair sticking out there. Little lines for some moustache. Down the bottom here, let's put some drips. We've got another finished character. One last zombie then, and then we'll tie it all together. No ear on that one, can't see the ears, no space for it, so let's just go put a nose in, a mouth, cycle through again. See how quick it is. Just a couple of teeth in there. Loads of drips. Another weird looking zombie face in there. Okay, so then all you're going to do now is just wrap this up. It's going to tie it all together. Look how good that looks. So we've got all these other little gaps all over the place. So just get in there and either draw another zombie in there, or even if you just put some drips. See how we're just getting into every single gap. There we go, got some space here. Little spittle. Some little drips like that over on this side. Let's go and Just put that in. I've had a lot of fun drawing that. That is a quick 30-minute doodle, and yeah, there's just loads going on, which I absolutely love. See how you got on with it. Try out a brush pen and use the ability to be able to create that double wonky line in one stroke and see how quickly you can draw. It might be a bit messy at first, and that's absolutely fine. Hope you enjoyed that one. I'll see you in the next video.